Hi guys, welcome back. So Kia Sangria here. Thank you so much for joining in. We're going to be starting part 3 of this corset top project. I am working with Butterick B5935, and it is now finally time for us to create the fashion layer for this corset top. So if you were with me last week for parts 1 and 2, you'll know that we went ahead and made our mock-up, and our mock-up fit amazing. So now we can go ahead and start working the fashion layer for this corset. I have waited for this day for quite some time because, as you guys know, when I stream a project with you guys, I am literally only working on it with you. So after last Thursday, I put this away with all the pattern pieces pinned to the fabric in preparation for us to cut it out tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on doing that because I have been really excited to make this project. Actually helps if I stand. You guys are gonna get to see my skull and crossbone pajamas here. Okay, so piece number 1 is cut out. So I'm just gonna move these pieces to the side as I cut them out, just so that they're not in the way. Actually, cut out this piece next. I hope you guys had a good day today. My day was actually kind of hard. Part of me thought about not even coming to stream tonight, but I really want to see you guys, and I really, really wanted to work on this project because I am so ready to wear this. I haven't even put this piece together yet, but I'm ready to wear this. To go absolutely nowhere, of course, because coronavirus, but I just want to have it finished. If you've been following my Instagram stories, you will see that I'm actually in the middle of another project. I'm currently making myself a pair of pajamas because I can. And I've always wanted to try my hand at doing loungewear and stuff like that. Something that I can wear right now. But this corset is this corset top is going to be really, really cute, but I have nowhere to wear it to. So I decided to make myself some satin pajamas, and that's what I'm currently working on, early in the morning before work, since I'm working from home. And I'm almost done with it. It's going to be 4 pieces. I finished the second piece this morning, so I'm going to start on the third piece tomorrow, possibly. And if it looks like I'm rushing, it's because I really do want to sew for you guys tonight instead of talk while I cut through things. Some people have asked me if I feel awkward doing streams, even though not a lot of people are watching. And to that I say, every creator ever who does this started out by talking to absolutely nobody when they started streaming. And I'm happy to take that journey because I know eventually people will come if I sew it. And I'm also just having fun because for me, this also serves as like content for my channel. So when people don't make it to the stream, it's not a big deal because the content itself goes on up on my channel. So you can come check it out later if you can't make it. I had one friend who was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I haven't been able to make it to your stream." And it's like, not worried about that. I'm just worried about like educating people and making this like sewing thing easier for them. So if you come and you watch the stream even after the stream ends, thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you learned something. Most importantly is like I hope you learned something from like these videos that I do. Hi, Honey Fro. Thanks for joining. Good evening. I'm finally cutting out the fashion like fabric for this corset top. I'm super excited because I've literally been thinking about this moment like all last week because I am ready to wear this item. I'm cutting as fast as I can so I can start putting this together. Oh my gosh, 2 more pieces left. Yay. Trying to think of the next project that I'm gonna sew on this stream, like after I'm done with this one. I haven't decided just yet. I'm in the middle of making pajamas, but I know that not everyone has like wants to do that. And plus, the fabric that I'm using is like really slippery and it moves a lot. It's also really cheap, so I don't know. Maybe I'll get on stream and make like a pair of pajamas for you guys to see. Okay, the last piece. Because I have a pretty good amount of this fabric left over, so if I end up not having to use it for anything else, maybe I'll make a mask out of it. I haven't made a mask yet. I'm actually kind of intimidated to do one. Not because I don't think it'll work, but I'm just not confident in my ability to sew a mask, which I think is kind of madness because I make everything else. But I don't know. I'm intimidated by masks. That's like when the pandemic started and people were like, "Oh my God, are you going to make masks?" I'm like, I don't know how. And I question my ability to do so because of the fact that like it's such a sensitive thing to make. But I've seen some really amazing like masks during quarantine, and I'm also really happy that like more people picked up sewing machines during this time to like take up arms against like this virus and try to help people. I thought that was really awesome. All right. Oh my gosh. Make whole coats, but I'm afraid to make. I know, and that's what I'm just like. I don't know. I feel super irrational. I think I'm making a coat. I'm actually making another one too, which the fabric for that arrived today actually. So I'm very excited to like start that. But yeah, I'm terrified of making masks. I don't know. What if it don't fit right? And then I just have a lot of fears. Oh my gosh. Okay, so all the pieces are cut out. Like I had mentioned last week, like the fabric itself is pretty I don't know, it's thick. My regular sewing pins don't do well, so I'm gonna try using some satin pins. But now I'm going to go ahead and take out my instructions, and we're literally going to repeat the entire step that we did for the lining with the fashion fabric. So, but this time we actually have to do like all of the little itty bitty details like stay stitching. And basically stay stitching is designed to prevent fabric from stretching when you're sewing it. So it just keeps everything together. I don't like stay stitching. It's like my least favorite part about sewing, but I understand the importance of it. So we're going to do that because I want you guys to understand the importance of it too, or else why am I here? Yeah, this fabric is really thick. Like there's actually like tiny pinholes in my cotton. That's upsetting. But that's my fault for not testing to see like how the fabric was going to behave if I put pins in it. So that one is on me. I just hope that they won't be too noticeable in the final garment though. They don't look like they will be, but I'm really, really upset about that. Okay. You live and you learn. So that was on me for not checking. It is what it is. Okay. Actually, before I get started on sewing these pieces together, I decided that even though I like the way the mock-up fit, I think I'm going to do a lining out of this leftover cotton fabric that I have here. Just because I feel like it'll match more with like the gold that's already in the fabric as opposed to like black. It just, I don't know, I feel like it elevates it a little bit more. So I'm just gonna use the piece that I cut out of the fashion layer, and I'm actually gonna just lay it on top of the fabric that I'm going to use for the lining. And it's only because I actually increased the seam allowance for the bust. So if I want the lining to match up with the actual piece, I'm going to have to do the same thing here. Wow, this fabric is so thick. I'm using a satin pin, and even that is not working. Okay, we're just gonna have to free cut it. We're gonna free cut it, and we're gonna hope for the best because that's literally all we can do right now. Okay, so let's get rid of. And I opted to just redo the lining because like I didn't do a good job with sewing the mock-up, but that's because it was a mock-up. But then after second thought, it was like this piece really deserves to have like nicely cut fabric that's been handled properly. So I just decided that I was going to just redo the lining. So I'm going to go ahead and stay stitch pieces 1 and 2. And before I do that, I'm actually going to rethread my machine because like I said previously, I am working on another project in between this one. So I'm just going to try to get this going. So funny story, this weekend I actually tried to learn how to use the automatic threader on my machine. I couldn't get it to work, and the amount of time that I spent trying to get it to work, I could have just threaded the needle. So put that on the list of things that I just don't know how to do just yet because I was trying and guys, like it was embarrassing. I'm just like, what the heck is happening right now? I spent way too much time like trying to use the automatic needle threader that I could have just threaded the needle myself. Okay, so we're gonna stay stitch from the top here to the middle of the bust. So right here. Let's see how this fabric behaves. Just gonna increase the stitch length to 3, just because this cotton is really thick. What is stuck over here? Gotcha. Okay. Had a bobbin thread that was stuck inside of the machine for a moment. Okay. It looks like that's long enough. Okay, so this cotton is a lot thicker than any other cotton that I've like worked with before, but it's not bad. It feels good, and I think it is going to make a good quality garment. It just feels a little weird for me because I'm not used to cotton being as sturdy as this, but that's not a bad thing. I actually quite like that. So let's just do the same thing on this end. And the thing about stay stitching is you want to do it within the seam allowance, but understand that it's not going to show on the outside of the garment once it's all put together. It literally only serves one purpose, and that is to keep your curves steady and sturdy. So I've gone ahead and done the stay stitching on both ends. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but there are stitches there. So I'm going to go ahead and do it to this piece too. And I'm only doing it on this side. So let's see. Seems like I need to go 3 inches in. All good there. So let's do the next side. Okay, so I've gone ahead and stay stitched these pieces. So now it is time to pin them together. Let's see if I have some thinner pins over here. This fabric is super thick, and I did not expect that. Honestly, what I should have done was cotton can have different finishes. It really just depends on how it's made. This one looks great for your pattern. Thank you so much, Strawberry Pepper Doll. I really do think that this fabric is going to work out, but this is my very first time working with a cotton that's thick like this. So I did put in the description box for this video a link to where I got my cotton from. I got it from an Etsy seller who ordered it from Spoonflower. So I guess this is one of her designs, but I don't know. I've never encountered this before. What I am going to do though is I'm going to be very careful about the amount of pins that I use, because so far from my other pins, like these ones right here, I don't know if you guys can see, like there's like lines inside of my pattern pieces, and I hope that they don't stay there, and I hope that they won't be as visible. But I definitely need to be careful with the amount of pins that I use. And I'm one of those people that I pin everything. I use too many pins sometimes, which is a habit that I am trying to break. I haven't broken it yet, so bear with me, but I think this fabric is really pretty, but I don't know if I would go for like Spoonflower cotton again because it's so thick, guys. It's so thick. I'm scared now. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish pinning this together. I think I'm gonna see if I can get away with putting just one pin in this and then do it that way. I really want to minimize the amount of pins I use for this project because, oh my gosh, I wish you guys could see what I see on my end right now. So I'm just like, whoa, there's markings here. I feel like the fabric is almost degraded in a way. It's not, but it's kind of me being a snob, I guess. Yeah, oh my gosh. All right, I actually need a pin around the curves. I was kidding myself just now. The hardest part about sewing corsets, I think, is really like the curves that you have to like work with when it comes to putting the piece together. Because the first time that I made one, that's really what made it like the most difficult. I have a lot of students that do. It's a good sense of control until you get more confident, but you got this. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that encouragement. Um, it's not to sound like selfish or anything like that, but I don't really get too much encouragement when it comes to like my sewing projects. But it's also because I don't really share with people the struggles I've had. So I really do appreciate that comment. I agree. I'm teaching myself lingerie and tight lace, corset making, and the body shaper clothing makes for funky seams. Yeah, it definitely does. I actually just made a not lingerie top. I made some sleepwear or loungewear out of like some satin, and I'm not too happy with how the top came out. But it was my first time using the pattern. It's the first time working with this fabric in like this type of regard. So I am trying to give myself that grace, but I don't know. I was a little disheartened. I'm still gonna wear it though. So okay, I'm just gonna sew around these seams. And I'm sewing very slowly because this is a very delicate process. Okay, one side is done, and it looks like I caught both ends, so that's great. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the other side. What hand does everybody write with? Because I'm left-handed, so I feel like I use my machine differently than some other people. I really like I can't sew on like the same side, so I don't know. It's weird for me. Hey, you are doing it. That's braver than a lot of folks. Asking for help or looking for a community where it can be hard too. I saw your pajama set. It turned out super cute. Thank you so much. I'm gonna sew like a bonnet and then I have a robe to go along with it. So it's gonna be a 4-piece pajama set. I just wanted some loungewear and I wanted some nice satin clothes that like weren't cheap. So that's what inspired me to sew it. So thank you. I'm right-handed. Everybody that I know is right-handed. I think I only have like one other friend and she's a lefty like me. It's really funny because when I was little and I heard that people thought that like left-handed people were like evil and they're the devil, I just kind of was just like, oh, I'm right-handed, but I sew with both hands depending on my machine and the project. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I had heard that people thought that left-handed people were like the devil and that we were evil and stuff, and I thought that was like the funniest thing. And then, but then, as like luck would have it, or luck if you want to call it that, I grew up and I became a practicing witch. So I'm just like, were they wrong? Not necessarily. But that is a whole conversation for another, and let alone like my middle name is Raven, but that's another conversation for another day, guys. So this is how it looks so far. I'm really excited. This is looking so good. There are left-handed machines out there. Really? I never knew that. But are they made by the like brother or singer or like Bernina and stuff like that? I never, you know what? That's not true. I know that there are like things out there for left-handed people, but I just don't feel like they're accessible or easy to find. So I mean, I knew they were out there, but I never encountered one. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to piece number 3. So what do I have back here? That's piece 4. This is piece 5. Piece number 3. Where are you? That is piece number 6. Piece number 3. Okay, got piece number 3. Okay, so stay stitch notched edge of side front above full waist. Okay. Okay, got it. I know what you want me to do now. Yeah. So let's just stay stitch the edge of this. Just above the waist. Okay. They can be really hard to find. Yeah, it's Revcon is the best known brand for left-handed machines though. Okay. I know that there are things out there for left-handed people, but I just find them hard to find. And I've never even heard of that brand, so that just kind of shows you like these things are not easily accessible to people that may need them. But it's a right hand world and I just live in it. And that's okay. I'm not complaining or anything. It is what it is. I made it this far in life, right? Hi, Vanta. Thanks for joining. Appreciate having you here. Okay, so I have stay stitched both pieces of piece number 3. All right, so what do they want me to do with this now? All right, pin side front to middle front. Okay, so they want me to pin piece number 3. So let's see. Okay, so my niece is left-handed and it can definitely be hard. Yeah, it's definitely a hard life out here for left-handed people. Like, I wouldn't trade it, but like it can. There's some times where I'm just like, I wish that I wasn't left-handed because life would be, on average, life would just be a lot easier for me if I was right-handed. But those are the breaks. So I'm just pinning piece number 3 to the side front. How's this line up? Okay. I'll just turn this over, make sure I'm pinning it properly. Yeah, okay. I'm doing this correctly. This is the main fashion fabric, guys, and I'm trying to minimize the amount of pins that I put in this project. I also don't want to have to seam rip this ever. So I'm really taking my time to make sure that like these pieces are going where they're supposed to. My niece is left-handed. I can definitely, yeah, agreed for sure. A lot of stuff ends up designed for right-handed folks with little consideration. I know desks and stuff in school is super hard sometimes. Yeah, I think, and you know what else? Not that I don't think left-handed people need to be taught how to write, but when I was in school and I was like writing anything, I would smear my words and no one told me or tried to teach me how to not do that because maybe nobody realized. So I don't know. What are you using for boning? Are you boning it? I am indeed boning this. I will always bone a corset top. I don't care what it's for. I will always do that. It's 7:28 now, but I will be boning the lining. I'm not going to bone the fashion fabric. I've never done that. I know some people that do, and it looks great. I just don't like the look of that for myself, but I will be boning the corset. I intend to use some polyester boning, which is the type of boning that you can sew through. I just haven't decided if I'm going to sew the boning itself directly to the fabric or if I'm going to make boning channels. Part of me wants to make boning channels because I feel like that would be really helpful for people that have never made a corset to like learn how to make it. And as much as I like sewing in the boning, I know that really boning channels is like, you know, the standard way to make them. I use boning, like sewing the boning in for like lazy projects, but I really care about this, so I think I might just make some boning channels and show you guys how I do that. Floating boning, gotcha. I do that a lot for my costumes. There's so many ways to create the channels for boning. I mean, there's a lot. I just cut strips of whatever fabric and I just kind of line it and like sew the channel closed and then just kind of insert the boning. For boning, I like to use polyester boning, but I've also used like zip ties from like Home Depot because those work really well. I'm ambidextrous by force. I broke fingers on my right hand and had to learn to do things with my left and just kept it up. I'm really sorry to hear that. I mean, it's cool that you got something out of it, so there is a silver lining, but I'm really sorry that that happened to you. Ow. Ow. I appreciate my hands a little bit more right now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sew these side pieces in. Hold on, what just happened? I love when I go to sew something and as my machine kind of pulls up to put the needle into something, the thread just comes out. I love that for me. Absolutely love that. I'm really glad that I got on today. Like I said, I had a bad day today, but I'm really happy to like be here making something. That's unfortunate, but I'm glad you had positive outcome from it. Yeah, I agree. Because yikes, breaking the fingers. Breaking anything is never easy. I don't know where I was going with that. Like, just please be careful, guys. Don't break anything. And Honey Fro, don't break anything else. There. Okay, so let's get this boning. Let's get this channel sewed in. Ooh. Let's put my pin cushion someplace I can see it. That would help. Before I push these pins out, especially when I want to wash, they can be similar to fake link. Yeah, that's exactly what I heard. I heard that like the zip ties are closer to like whale boning, so that's why I like opted to use them, and I think they're really cool. I hate sewing. I didn't realize the thread came out of the deal. Yeah, those are like the cute things that happen when you're sewing something. Like when I do this and the needle goes up and then the thread just slides right out and I just sit there like, you could have sat there and ate your food, but you didn't. Oh my God, isn't it such a one when you finish the scene with the bottom? So last night when I was sewing, I was making a waistband for my pajama pants and literally I got to the end and I made it to the end and like halfway through I ran out of bobbin thread, so I had to go over it again. I almost gave up like last night. I was just like, you know what, I'm not doing this, like just screw this top, like it is what it is, I'm not doing it. But I got through it. But yeah, that is like one of the most annoying things. And sometimes what you might see me do is I'll go like this. Oh shit, my bobbin's about to run out of thread right now actually, so awesome. Awesome. Yeah, when like sometimes my bobbin thread will get like really low. I just like, I don't know if you guys can see, but like my bobbin is like practically naked. So just like I'm gonna put some more thread in there. I hate when my bobbin thread runs out. And I also be aware of like filling your bobbin thread with too much thread. That actually will cause issues for your machine. Good evening. Hi, Kimono. Thanks so much for joining. Oh my gosh. It's great to have you. I'm just putting some more thread in my bobbin because it was about to run out on me. Well, oof, it's gone. Good, you caught it. Yeah, because honestly, I would have been really upset if I had like gotten any further and I wouldn't have been able to like finish. Okay, I'm only gonna fill this bobbin up just a little bit just to get me through this next part because tomorrow morning I'm gonna go back to working on my pajama set and I'm gonna need this bobbin to house the other thread color. So I'm just gonna cut it. Here we go, short. I'm going to thread my machine one more time so that I can get through this. I think I'm going to change my thread out because I'm quite tired of this thing catching the way that it is. What else do I have here? I have another brown polyester thread. I'm going to use this one instead. Does anybody else ever get angry with their machine? Like sometimes I just be like, what are you doing today? Like, can you just act right for once in your life? For once in my life, just act right, please. Just do the thing that I'm asking you to do. I'm not asking for much, just this one thing. Aha, it is threaded. We're back. Well, actually not really because we're done with this part. So if you're just joining the stream, here's how the fashion layer looks. I don't know how to do any of this. It looks like magic. It quite certainly is magic, actually. But you can learn it. Anyone could. So this is it. This is the front so far, and this is the fabric. I really like this. This is coming out like really cute. So let's see what we need to do now. I think. Okay, so pin middle, back 4 and 5 and stitch. Okay, so we're actually done with these pieces for right now. Now we're going to move on to 4. No, I'm sorry. Oh, wait, 4 and 5. So we're going to do piece 4 and piece 5. So it's asking us to pin those sections together. Okay. So if you were here last week, you were there when I messed up on this part when I was doing the lining. So hopefully we can get it right this time because we can't afford to get it wrong because it's a very expensive fabric. I embrace the sewing magic girl vibes. Yes, as soon as I saw the fabric, I was just like, this is so cute. Like, I need to have this. I sew so fast. Sometimes my friends say I'm a stitch witch because of how quickly things come together. Listen, I understand that. That Ichigo cosplay that I made that in one weekend, okay? Saturday and Sunday, I was able to like produce that costume. And I felt bad about it a little bit because I'm like, wow, this is a dream cosplay. And like, boom, I just sat down and it's done. But at the same time, though, it's a testament to my skill level. So like, that was kind of a flex for me too. So, all right. So now it is time to do piece 4 and 5. If you were here for the first stream, then you were here when I messed up on sewing this the first time. So let's hope I get it right this time. Okay. Let's see. Actually, what would have been helpful is if I had kept the mock-up over here. So let's see. Turned out so well, but sometimes you got to grow before you get a project. Yeah, I did. I really had a lot of growing to do. But the thing about that costume is that I never thought that I would ever get to cosplay it, let alone actually make it. So when that happened for me, I was just like, wow, that's the thing. Like, I did it. I made that. Okay. Okay. I think I figured out the placement. As I hope I did, lest I mess up again. But if I do, that's fine because we'll grow together. There goes sewing pins. Okay. Let's try to keep this as clean as possible. Try not to use as many pins. When you're dealing with a fabric like this, try to make sure that you're pinning within your seam allowance because even if I make a ton of holes in this, because they're within my seam allowance, they're not going to show on the inside of the garment. So that's how you kind of save yourself when you're using a fabric such as this. So, and once again, I am an avid pinner. I pin everything for no reason. So this is taking a lot of restraint to use very few pins. but I'm gonna do it for the sake of this stream and also for the sake of this fabric. I did leave a link to where I bought this fabric in the description, but the fabric itself, like in total with the shipping, was $30, guys. So please, 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 if you do decide to buy this fabric, you know, please make sure you know what you're doing with it. I almost didn't even put it inside of the description because I didn't want people to make any mistakes, but I'm not going to withhold it from anybody because I think it's really pretty. And if you know how to make masks, because I don't know how to make masks and I am very afraid to make one, but if you know how to make masks and you would like to use the fabric for that, in the description box of this video, you will be able to find the link to the Etsy seller that sells this fabric. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sew this piece together. So we have one piece done, and looking at the pattern piece, it does look like it was done correctly, so we're doing good. The fabrics that small designers get printed and stuff, especially through Spoonflower and other companies that are to pay to print, are 1,000 times better than Joann's print cotton quality-wise. Then I guess I've never just used like a cotton that's this quality then, because this cotton is very beautiful, but it's so thick. Like I struggled even to get my satin pins, which are for dressmaking, through the fabric. It was hard. So this just must be a really good quality fabric, and I may not be ready for it yet, but you know, here I am. I prefer like the softer cottons, and I guess maybe those, they're just not of good quality, but I would be lying if I didn't tell you that I'm very intimidated by this fabric right now. It's the print ink. It can make it so difficult to handle. You know what? I imagine that because this is a very solid print. And the pieces of the print that are like not printed, that don't have any fabric on it, like for example, this part right here, which came off of the fabric, this is very smooth and is very soft. But the actual print is just very rough. And I don't mind it from a design standpoint because I do feel that I am about to make a very like sturdy and good quality garment. But in terms of like sewing and pinning it though, it's a little intimidating. Most of the time those printed fabrics can be really rough till they get washed or heat sealed. You know what? I believe you. I believe you. The thing about me is that I hand wash like all of my garments after I make them. So do you think that in this case it'll just soften up like once I like put some like cold water to it or something like that? I don't really know. Okay. We did this part correctly. We have learned from our mistakes from the first stream. So that's awesome. All right, so what's next? Pin front to back at size and stitch. Okay. So now it's time to pin the front to our back pieces. Wait, really? Hold up. I may have skipped ahead. I'm not done yet. I actually have to sew piece 6 to this. I'm just like, wait, I'm ready to do that yet? See, I'm so excited. I'm over here skipping ahead. Where is piece 6? Okay. So this is piece number 6. This is the last piece to this puzzle here. Okay. If you really use something like Woolite or Delicate detergent, it would spot test though. You know what? You're totally right. I'm actually going to keep some of my scraps and then just kind of see like, you know, what happens if I use any of that stuff on it. Because that'll allow me to see like which detergents I should stay away from. Okay, hold on. You got this. I'm happy to see your progress. Keep up the awesome work. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. This stuff means like so much to me. I have a lot of fun while doing this. And as much as like quarantine and like this coronavirus thing has been sucky to all of us, like I feel like I've been able to like thrive during this because of the fact that like I have this incredible hobby that is cosplay. So I'm very thankful for like having this as a hobby. Like I said, today I'm not gonna go into details, but today was like a hard day for me at work. So to be able to just kind of sit down with you guys and like make something on camera and just have fun like this, like it means a lot. And I'm really happy to be here, and I'm really happy to get the opportunity to entertain you guys on this Tuesday night. So thank you to everybody that came in to join the stream. I do appreciate you a lot, like a lot, a lot, a lot, like so much. Okay, so it's 7:46. I'm almost done with this. So the next thing that we'll have to do, which we'll do on Thursday, so meet me back here on Thursday at 7 o'clock, and we'll finish this off, or we'll work on it some more. The next thing I'm going to do is the lining, and that will involve cutting out the pieces for the lining and hopefully sewing pieces for it too. And once again, guys, just so you know, I don't work on this project outside of this stream. So, like, wherever I stop tonight, that's where we're going to pick up on Thursday night. But my greatest wish is that we can get through, like, putting these two pieces together before the clock runs out. And some of you have asked me, well, how come you don't stream for longer than an hour? And the reason is simple. I know that there are other creators out there that you guys watch, and there are also other creators that I watch too. And I respect your time, and so I appreciate you spending an hour with me. But I don't want to take up too much of your time that you can't see the other creators out there that you know and love, because there's some pretty dope people out there. I'm gonna drop Kimono Jones, who has a video game stream that she runs on Twitch, and she's absolutely amazing. And her streams are super fun, and she's super energetic. She has amazing energy. So check out Kimono Jones on Twitch. But there are other creators out there that are doing like really cool things, and I want you guys to be able to see them. And also, I want to be able to take a break too. Plus, after the streams end, I always make sure to like upload them to the channel so that people who didn't get to see the stream tonight can go ahead and rewatch. So, Kimono, if you're still here, please share a link to your channel. Somebody's asking. So now I'm going to go ahead and sew the front pieces to the back pieces at the side seams. And then we will be done with the fashion layer of our corset. So as you can see, it's not hard to make one of these. It just takes a lot of precision, and it takes a lot of patience too. So if you have been wanting to like try your hand at like making a corset, please do it. And then come tell me about it. Or better yet, come show it to me. Or ask me questions if you need advice on like how to do something, because it can be very confusing to make one of these too. But it's very rewarding, because I always thought like corsets are hard. I'm not gonna pretend that they aren't. They can be difficult, but they're a lot of fun to like create. And I think everyone should try at least once, even if you don't like how it comes out. the first corset I ever tried to make, I actually tried to make it for a My Little Pony character, Princess Cadence specifically, because I've always wanted to cosplay Princess Cadence from My Little Pony. And I tried to make a corset top for her. And this was at a time where I just didn't have the skill. And so obviously it didn't come out right. And I think it was this exact pattern that I was trying to use to do it too. So here's to redoing it again. And actually, guys, a funny story, and I'm going to talk about it after this piece is done, but I originally ordered the pattern for this corset back in December of, I believe, 2014. And I messed up and I threw that pattern away. I no longer have it. So I had to order it again in order to work on this. But this is just, I guess, like a word of, you know, just because the universe says like no, it doesn't mean like no. It just means not right now. Because I was really gung-ho about making this once upon a time and I just wasn't able to do it. Almost done. Move my pin cushion. All right, guys. Let me just check my little instructions here. Right this together, pin lining to corset. Okay, so the next step is to actually do the lining. Thanks so much. Yes, you're welcome, Kimono. Please drop your link, your channel link in the chat, please, so that people can come and visit your stream. I believe she's playing the Hades game now, which is pretty awesome. I don't know if anyone else has played that game, but that game is awesome. There's a character in the game named Orpheus who is like a singer, and his music is so beautiful, guys. Like me and my husband have actually went on YouTube and like found some of the songs just so we could like listen to them. So it's really awesome. So I'm just cutting the straight threads because I think I might have found it on Twitch, but I'm also on there and I don't do gaming. I kind of thought about joining Twitch because I really want to have like custom channel art and stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm still like thinking, I'm still dipping my feet in the water that is like streaming on YouTube. This is only like my third stream. But I like it. I'm having fun and it's awesome. Is that a pin? Oh my gosh. Guys, I called it done and I haven't even sewn like the other side. I am too excited to finish this that I'm just like not even completing it. So let's just get through this last little bit. Oh my god. I need to I'll definitely reach out to you. Reach out to you after your stream. Definitely, please do. All right, guys, so it's done. For reals this time. I didn't skip ahead. I actually completed all the steps. So let's get a look at it. So here it is. So here's how it looks. It's pretty long, but this is it. So all the panels have been sewn together. Yay, thanks for sharing this project with us. This is fun. You're very welcome. Yeah, I mean, as much as I love, you know, the idea of you guys making things along with me, like it's also just really good to have you guys here because if you decide that you want to pick up this pattern for yourself at a later date, that you could just come back to this video and refer to it and kind of see all the things that I did wrong, but also all the things that I got right as well, because I really do want this to be, you know, fun and educational for you guys. On my first stream, I made a mistake with like the mock-up, but it was great because I got to show you the mistake, how I made it. And then in the next stream, I got to show you guys how I corrected it too. And that's really important. I want you guys to see my wins, but also want you guys to see my failures and then learn from them along with me, because I feel like when you see my failures, then, you know, we all get to grow along together. And that's really half the fun. Everything that I know about sewing in general, I only learned it because I got it wrong the first time. But I was more than welcome to get it wrong, because when I got it right, the result was spectacular. So I got the lining or slash mock-up for this wrong during my first stream. But as you can see, I didn't make the same mistake twice. And you guys actually watched that I didn't make the same mistake twice if you got to see me make it the first time. So it's all a part of the experience. And that's really what makes it the most fun. So I'm absolutely in awe of this fabric. I think this, I'm just going to show you guys again. Can you guys see the design on it? It's got like a Louis Vuitton kind of aesthetic. But with like the Sailor Moon like logo and stuff like that. So I think that that's like super, super awesome. And it's a very, very beautiful fabric. And I'm very happy to be making something with this, because I have some other fabric that I bought from Spoonflower years ago and I never used it. I think because I was intimidated by it. So maybe I might go ahead and take that fabric out and make something with it, since I've already done something with this one. So it's 7:55. Want to thank you guys once more for like joining the stream. You can check out the progress of my other projects on Instagram while we uploading stories. The project that I'm going to be working on this coming weekend actually starts with a neck corset, which I'm still figuring out how to make regular corsets. So it's very interesting to try to make like a neck corset with sleeves. But I'm very excited to try my hand at making something like that, because if so, I can make a couple of other things that I've had my eye on or my imagination on. I wish I could draw some of my designs for you guys. I don't know how to draw, which I wish I did, because then I feel like my pieces would look a lot cooler if I showed a concept art and then showed the concept itself coming to life. But I don't have that talent. I haven't acquired it. I don't know if I ever will. Sailor Louis V. That's cute. That's so cute. I think I might use that in the caption when I finally like post myself wearing this piece. So Thursday, you guys can meet me back here on Thursday at 7 o'clock. We're going to start the lining. We're going to start the lining with doing, I can hook you up with croquis. Yes, please, 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 please. We're going to start with doing the lining on Thursday, and hopefully if I can get through that rather quickly, then we can do the lining. And then next week, Tuesday, we can start on inserting the grommets, and then hopefully being done with the piece by next week. I think that would be super cool. Because it's not a Thursday, 7 p.m. EST. Yes, that is correct. EST, because I'm in New York City. Yeah, hopefully by next week we can be done with this, because I'm still kind of brainstorming what it is that we're going to do next. And by us, well, I mean myself, but also you, if you decide to follow along at home. In the description box for this stream, you'll be able to find a link to the pattern. You'll also be able to find a link to this fabric, and then a link to other fabric choices that you can come up with. There will also be a link to all of the materials and notions that you'll need for this project, including the boning, the grommets, and the ribbons that you'll be using to like lace up the corset in the event that you are going to do this along with me. But if not, go ahead and see if you can find the pattern anyway, in case you ever do want to try it out, and know that my video will be here on this YouTube channel for you to check out later when you finally get to that point. But I really do want to thank you guys for joining me here tonight. You guys made my day a lot better than what it started with this morning. And I really appreciate that a lot. Yeah, it's really nice that you guys like come out and like spend a little bit of time with me, because there's so many other creatives that you could be spending time with right now for this hour, but you came to do it with me, and I really do appreciate the love. I do appreciate the support. I really do appreciate the interaction that you guys give. I love hearing about like your own individual sewing journeys in the comments, because they kind of remind me a lot about where I started out when I first started doing this. So it's just really cool to hear from you guys and see what you guys are up to, and you know, any tips you have to share, because I'm not a pro at this. So if you have any, I won't say way to cut corners, but any tips or tricks to make like life easier as a seamstress, I'm always down to hear them, because I really like to work smart, not hard. So whatever you guys are willing to share, I'm always down for it. So thank you so much for sharing your time. Thank you so much for sharing your stories. Honey Fro, please don't break anything else ever again. That'll make me very, very sad. And yeah, I guess I will see you guys on my other channels. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, I'm also on Facebook, and I also have my own blog too, where you can find a review for another corset pattern that I have used about 3 times now. And on my channel, I actually have another video of me making a corset. So if you want to kind of jump ahead and see what next week will be like as we finish up this item, definitely go ahead and check out that video. I'll try. You better. You better. But thank you guys so much for joining me tonight, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. I will see you guys on Thursday. Good night.